I'm the big man, attorney Joey Franks, Big Man Law here in Jackson, Mississippi. And today we are back with Judge Middleton. And we got another fun one. In fact, it's probably the most serious charges we've seen on the channel. Yeah, we've had that one where the guy, he beat up the older couple. That was pretty heinous. But as far as, I guess, seriousness, what you would expect as far as ranking charges, this one's right on up there. And I want you to leave a comment very early on, listen to one of the first things it said, and let me know if you think this defendant is making fun of Judge Middleton's ponytail.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Caden Hasselkuss?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Judge Middleton, and Mr. Wescombe from the Public Defender's Office wants an opportunity to speak with you before I start this arraignment. So let me set up a breakout room and let the two of you go into it. All right, just click join. All right, let's take another crack at this. This is file number 242307FY, People versus Caden D. Hasselkuss. Mr. Hasselkuss was here earlier this month on a disturbing the peace. These charges are significantly more serious. It's alleged that on or about December 20th in the city of Three Rivers, did carry or possess butane, an explosive or combustible substance, with the intent to damage or destroy property without permission of the property owner, and did damage property belonging to Goodwill Industries. It's a felony punishable by up to 20 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $15,000.
Your Honor, that was on December 29th.
Oh, December 29th. Yes, I'm sorry. Count 2, did, being a person 18 years of older, possess methamphetamine within 1,000 feet of a school, which is a 20-year felony. I have not seen that charge this year, I don't think. Count 3, arson, preparation to burn. Did arrange, place, devise, or distribute an inflammable, combustible, or explosive material, liquid, substance, or device at or near Goodwill Industries with the intent to commit arson of property having a value of $20,000 or more. Officers were dispatched to a large fire behind the Goodwill store. And there's video of someone they believe to be you. Wow, setting this fire. Damaging a truck. You had some methamphetamine in your possession when they arrested you. Mr. Hasselkuss, are you on bond in any other jurisdiction?
We are.
Elkhart?
Did you say St. Joe?
Saint, all right. Are you still homeless?
Yeah.
And you said you're on bond from where?
St. Joe.
I don't think he is. The only case that I'm showing is the one that
He owes money on.
Right.
Well, then the praxis is not right. All right. Miss Deborah Davis, the soon-to-be prosecutor, is here. She wanted to give input on this. Miss Davis?
Right, I've been in contact with Three Rivers Police Department, who have been investigating this issue, and they are very concerned about the safety of the community with this individual. Most recently, at the beginning of December, he was charged with using a baseball bat to hit the backside of a car of an individual. That was the case that he came in and ended up pleading to disturbing the peace. Didn't really have a great explanation for why he did that. I thought there were laughing at him or talking about him or something.
Yes.
And, I had some concerns about him at that point. So when this came in and we start looking at the details, this could have been extremely serious, as far as but for the security company from one of the neighboring businesses having a good monitoring system, that an individual called in from Detroit directly to the fire department, and the fire department was able to get dispatched out there much more quickly than usual and get it under control. But the butane that he is alleged to have used and admitted to using, and burning these pallets that were up next to the building, it creates a very dangerous situation for the community and for all the firefighters and personnel that need to be out there to take care of that. He didn't really have any qualms about telling the officers that he had done it, didn't really have a reason, which is concerning. And then the methamphetamine being at the soup kitchen where he was found, within about 500 feet of Ruth Hoppen Elementary. And he didn't mention anything about having that. It was then found on his person when he was threatening to swallow it in the police car. I think he's got some pretty significant issues going on right now. And the fact that he is homeless, doesn't have anywhere to go, and this is the second crime that he's committed in this month, I think for public safety reasons and to ensure that he appears and is clean and sober for the proceedings, I would ask that the court set a high bond, no 10% option, and that he be outfitted with a GPS monitor. Thank you.
Mr. Westcomb, anything you wish to add?
Yes, Your Honor. Given all the things that the prosecutor has mentioned about these charges, they are severe charges, and I would just like the court to consider the fact that the defendant here is homeless and has access to very limited amounts of resources, and to consider his lack of resources when setting bond. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hasselkuss, I dealt with you earlier this month, that incident where you broke the taillight out of that car with a bat because you thought people were laughing at you. Maybe they were, I don't know. But anyway, it was upsetting to you. And I could tell at that point that there were some mental health issues, but I didn't really delve into it. I just let you out of jail and gave you a fine and time to pay it. Maybe it needed more attention than that. This is scary and frightening and makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. According to the video, you stacked those skids or pallets up there, put stuff on it, lit it with a butane torch, and caught a semi on fire that burned up, doing substantial damage. And only because of somebody else's security, that whole strip mall would have burned up all the way down to probably Bigby Coffee. That would have been the biggest fire in Three Rivers in the last 100 years. We're going to need to get some probably mental health involvement here, but this is very frightening. There's no reason for it. Great risk of public harm. And I'm going to set bond at $100,000 cash or surety. The public safety implications of this case are very large. As a practical matter, as Mr. Westcomb said, you don't have very many resources, but I asked you this when I saw you earlier this month. Where are your people? Where's your family?
It's just me.
Where do your parents live? All right. Much as mental illness and a combination of both, but there's a great public safety risk. So I'm going to set the bond conditions that no drugs and no alcohol, no weapons, no assaultive behavior, and pretrial supervision, including GPS tether. If you do bond out, which is not likely. But that's by. For your safety and the safety of the public right now, the best place for you to be is where you are. Perhaps there could be some other sort of mental health placement yet to be determined. Anyway, I'm going to appoint an attorney. You essentially admitted everything to the officers. It's probably under the category of something that will seem like a good idea at the time, but as we're talking right now, you probably don't even really know why you did this. But we'll try to get to the bottom of it. All right. Good luck, sir.
Yeah.
All right. This guy has committed arson. And he's doubled down. He's got meth by a school. He's got the whole kit and caboodle. He's got butane. They've got him on some serious stuff. And it could have been really bad. I mean, he could have burned down a whole shopping mall. He did burn up an 18-wheeler, according to Judge Middleton and what he was reviewing. So, wow, that's pretty well out there. If you listen to the judge, he says that I'm not going to let you have the 10% option on the bond. And in Mississippi, I don't know how it works in Michigan, but in Mississippi, generally when somebody issues a bond, let's say you get a $1,000 bond, if you're a resident, you pay 10%, which would be $100 on that bond, and hire you a bail bondsman and you get out of jail. I think what he's saying here is he's essentially making it a cash bond where you got to have the full amount up front before you can walk out of jail, which is part of the reason he says you're probably not going to be able to bond out. But this guy, he's got some serious stuff going on. And when he called Judge Middleton ma'am in the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to start off my hearing that way, but here we go. It's an interesting little tidbit there. And in reality, I don't think he was actually making fun of him. I suspect he probably really thought at a glance it was a female, and that's not a crack at Judge Middleton. I actually really like Judge Middleton. I just can't grow my hair like him and rock a ponytail. But interesting case. It's pretty rough stuff. I think the guys got an uphill fight on this one, especially when they got you on camera. Cameras cut both ways. They either really bail you out or they really bury you, one of the two. And I think he's probably going to be buried here. It's rough to get around that, but there's always the procedures that the state can mess up. There's also issues authenticating videos sometimes, especially if they don't give you all the video. If it's a video of a video, there's a whole slew of arguments out there to be made that a good criminal defense attorney would go and argue, honestly. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, as severe as the charges were, but you're still here. Make sure you've commented to let us know what you think, what you like, things like that, and make sure you like and subscribe. It means the world to us, and it keeps you up to date. We try to post one of these videos once a week. Every once in a while we get off track, but generally speaking, we keep it rolling. Appreciate it.